So we have the gameplay overview trailer for Marathon, which is Bungie's upcoming extraction shooter. And I've seen quite a few videos on this now, I've seen a lot of people talking about it. And one of the biggest things is people are saying this is going to be Bungie's Concord. Their version of Concord, which was a failure of a game. That game took an estimated, I think 8 years to develop, and it lasted 2 weeks before it was closed down. So we're going to watch through this gameplay overview trailer. I'm going to be pausing it like when there's something I feel I want to touch up on. And from what I've seen already, I think this is going to be a major flop. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see. But it says at the top of the screen, alpha gameplay footage. How many times a company is going to release things like this, and the final release for the product is very close to what we were shown? Didn't Battlefield 2042 do something like that, showing alpha gameplay, and the full release was very close to what the alpha gameplay was showing? So yeah, this is Bungie's take on an extraction shooter. It's called Marathon. Let's get into this trailer and let's have a look. So remember, it does state alpha gameplay footage. So Bungie, let's have a look. There's going to be a lot of pauses. But I mean, what I'll do, I'll link it in the description. So if you guys want to watch it without me talking over the top of it, then feel free. But let me know in the comments what you think about this. So like already, it's alpha. They could enhance the graphics and things. It looks so basic. Generic cookie cutter. The art style I already do not like. And I mean, looking down a sniper scope, you got to remember, this is from the creators of Destiny.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4.
Oh, and that animation? Hold up, let's go back very quickly. If I just mute it whilst we get there, this animation here, that's the only animation they ever show for the finisher. Let's carry on. Let's go back a couple of seconds. Carry on.
You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat.
Tactical and fast-paced.
Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats.
Right, so there. You're going to be in teams of 3, 18 other players. There's going to be otherworldly forces as well as security forces. So it's a PvPvE. And it's already kind of reminding me of something like Apex Legends, just with a primary/secondary school highlighter sort of art style to it. It's they're going for that, let's try and draw people in with our over-the-top, vibrant sort of art style to the game. But let's continue with the trailer.
To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune.
So you use the key to open the door.
Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map.
Hold up. What was that equipment exactly? Where is it? So there's a maintenance pump key. Weren't there a couple of other things? Here we had just a standard frag grenade. I missed what that one was. Aluminum rods. Okay, so let's get the sound back.
The map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead.
Okay, basic and extraction shooters.
Simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive.
Again, nothing different.
And all your gear will be up for grabs.
Yeah.
Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault.
Okay, hold on. Let's have a look at the inventory. So you've got the Burr SMG, shield equipment, weapon 2, V85 circuit breaker. You've got your backpack with a bunch of things. Total value $980 CR. And then you've got a few things over here. You can equip, drop, select more actions, credits here for the value. You've got your damage, handling, stability, range, reload, magazine. And everything they've explained so far is generic cookie cutter extraction shooter. It would seem as though they think they are breaking into a new type of genre, but what they don't realise is there have been so many extraction shooters, flops and successes. They are incredibly late to this party, and they're acting as though they need to explain to everyone what an extraction shooter is. I get it, there's a lot of new people on the gaming market, like loads of new players and stuff, but when you hear the word shooter, you know you're shooting. When you hear extraction, you know you have to extract. I think it's quite self-explanatory that that's what you do in an extraction shooter. And it was one of their first words, it's an extraction shooter. But let's continue after this Burr SMG.
Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents, and in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top.
Okay,
And even
so
if you're down on
strategy.
your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight.
You get sponsored if you lose all your
Bungie
stuff.
brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to
Whether
see
you're
any
on a
of that.
zero run or high rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge.
There's the same
Marathon is
animation.
designed to be played in crews with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot.
Okay, so you revive on the
If you
spot.
believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner.
So you can go in
No two
solo.
runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to
I don't
push
think there's
enemy
gonna be
teams and steal their loot?
much
Bring
of
in
that.
Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends, grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need.
Hold up, hold up. Was that a claymore? Did they just chuck a... That's a... Look at the... There's like a full-on cone on it. It's like the claymore sitting there going, hey, I'm here, look at me, don't step in front of me, I'll blow you up. What is that?
To be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4.
And there you have it. Season 1.
Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.
Yeah. Exactly how they say you're only ever one gambling session away from your biggest ever win. The same shit you hear all the time. So that was a look at Marathon. And there's quite a lot of info I've picked up from watching other videos about it. So one, this is not going to be free to play. This is going to have what they are calling a quote-unquote premium price tag. It's not going to fall under the category of AAA. So I think it's going to be around £40 or something like that, which is already, for what they are releasing, a very high entry price. Because this game's going to have 6 runners, so there are going to be 6 characters. There are going to be 3 different maps, and that is it at launch. And they've said, I believe it's towards the end of Season 1, they will add one extra map. So it's a live service game. They're going to be building it up after it's released. But they have a season, so they're going to charge you 40 quid or however much it's going to cost, and they're going to slap season passes, they're going to have all the skins in the store and everything like that to try and milk you for every penny you've got. How many more fucking times are we going to see this come from big companies? There are games out there where the developers are pouring their heart and soul into the game they're making, and they don't get any traction on the in the gaming industry and on the market. They get nothing, and they put time, effort, money, everything and into what they're working, and they do it because they have the passion to do it. These are just spewing out what they think is trending. They want to go off hype. You've got all these content creators that have already played it and they're giving it all the praises. Oh, I love the art style. So go and give your child a bunch of highlighters and colouring crayons and they'll design something better. This is what we're paying 40, 50 quid for in 2025. I think this is an absolute joke, and I don't see this lasting long. We had Concord, which was developed over 8 years, and it was shut down after about 2 weeks. We've had Ubisoft with X-Defiant closing that down. We had Rainbow Six Extraction. We've had Escape from Tarkov trying to pull their $250 bundle thing. We had Ark Raiders saying they were making a PvPvE sort of game, or whatever it was going to be, and then they turned that into an extraction shooter. We had the day before saying it was going to be a massive MMO, and then that turned out to be some sort of an extraction thing, while it lasted for all of 4 fucking days. They have shown alpha gameplay footage, and granted they've got a little bit more time before the launch than what Battlefield 2042 had, but I think it was 2 months before the launch of Battlefield, and they were showing alpha gameplay footage, and everyone's like, oh yeah, but it's just a really old build of the game. Yeah, okay, they're AAA companies, they're such big companies. I think 300 people or something stupid are working on Marathon. They've been developing it for 4 years, and this is what they've got to show 5 months before launch. Their gameplay overview trailer for a game releasing in 5 months' time is alpha gameplay footage. Everyone's going to be, whoever buys this is going to be paying 40 quid and buying season passes for a half-baked game. This is what's known as an MVP. Minimum viable product. That's all this is. They have essentially created they've put in the least amount of effort they possibly can. They've created the smallest product they can that they can get away with actually releasing as a product. 6 runners, 3 maps. And that is all that is coming at launch. I think if there's anything positive to take from this, it's the gunplay. It looks semi-decent. Everything else is just generic cookie cutter, give us money. That's all they want from this. Sony acquired Bungie for I think just under $4 billion. And this is what's being churned out of that studio. Think Destiny 2. How big that game was. It got to the point where they were sunsetting and vaulting content because the game was too big. Instead of moving on to a Destiny 3, instead of doing something creative with their game, they took away from the people that supported them. And then after 4 years of development, this is what they have to show you. Instead of working on a brand new game as big as Destiny, we have Marathon, the generic cookie cutter extraction shooter where we're going to charge you through the roof for cosmetics and battle passes and things in a live service pile of shit that you're also going to have to pay a premium price to play in the first place. This is one of them games where I think anyone that is really thinking about it is hoping and praying that people don't buy this. If you do buy this game, you've got to be desperate in some way. Like, if you buy it to play it for a long, if you think this is going to be your next big game, you've got to be seriously desperate for something. It's quite clear at that stage there is nothing for you currently available. Nothing that is, nothing you're enjoying. Because this is not it. I honestly think this ain't going to last longer than 6 months. I think there's going to be hardcore fans. They're going to just try and shut everyone down that gives it any sort of criticism. I think if there's anyone that's got even half decent gameplay, the comments are just going to be filled up with skill issues, all the rest of that shit. You know, all that trending rubbish, but it's baffling. Alpha footage from a big company working on a game for over 4 years, 5 months before launch. What are you thinking? And it shows how desperate they are to get this game out there because they're giving content creators early access to it and they're getting them to talk about it in all their videos and their showcases and stuff. People are getting flown out or whatever to go to this event. They're allowed to capture footage and stuff just so they can get free marketing. I think almost the entire player base for this game is going to be based around content creators' fan bases. That's pretty much all it's going to be. You'll have the people that are sponsored that won't say a bad thing about it, and you'll have all of their fan bases playing. Anything outside of that, and I don't think people are really going to give it the time of day. As they said, you can go into a game solo, but if you're solo, you're still against squads of 3. They're trying to push for a 3-player group at all times. And they're not trying to do anything with the game to make it stand out. They have literally done cookie-cutter stuff. You've got the revive mechanics. They've shown one animation for a finisher. You've got the generic loot system and stuff that they've put into this game where you're getting aluminum rods or aluminium rods or whatever. I think the only thing that would make this different to a typical extraction shooter is the art style. They've gone for grab the attention of the teenagers, the ones that are going to spend the money on the game, pull them in with a massively over-the-top, shiny, carrot on a stick, vibrant, school highlighter sort of art style. That's what they've gone for with this game. I'm really hoping there are significant changes before it releases in September. Because this is dropping September 23rd. We are 5 months out from this game launching, and this is all they've got to show. This is their gameplay overview trailer, less than half a year before release. They've been working on it for 4 years. I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of this live service garbage that just gets churned out of these companies. And what is wrong with Sony? After the failure of Concord, why are you why are you letting Bungie do this? Why are you paying for this to happen? Why is it going on? It kind of feels like Sony's just trying to get rid of Bungie at this point, because this game, from what I've seen at first glance, this ain't going to do Bungie any good. And they've already had a load of hate with their Sunset and Evolving in Destiny 2. With everything they could have done in 4 years, this is what they've done. But I think I've said enough. I've heard so many things. There's not going to be a social hub. There's not going to be any player markets. You're not going to know the real value of any of your loot. And not only that, because it's based on seasons, every 3 months, your stuff is going to be wiped from your account. You have to start again once every quarter. I don't know. With the premium entry price, the battle passes, the cosmetics and things like that, I don't see this game going anywhere. But that's my opinion and my thoughts on Marathon. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it.